watched the visualizer. It's live now. I'm super excited to release this because I worked super hard to learn to basically relearn Blender. So it was really cool. It was a very intensive process, um, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm really proud of it because I started from scratch and just built up this little world and animated it, and it was crazy, but it's fun. Um, Obviously, once you watch it and listen to it, let me know if you have any questions. It was such a cool process. This song was interesting. Um, when I first wrote it, it sounded a lot different, and then when Jeff took it and we went to the studio to track, he's like, well, "Let's try some things." So um, that intro especially is like I think a whole octave or maybe a couple octaves higher than I originally tracked it. Um, but it turned out cool. And then we handed it off to Joey, and he did his thing and mixed it, and that's what it sounds like now. I'll wait for more people to show up, but um, yeah, this song wasn't really about a Daedric prince this time. I wanted to kind of focus on more of a thematic like idea, or maybe like the theme was more about something like loyalty in this case. And so I started thinking about that dog that you come across in the Clavicus Vile quest, and I was like, that dog does a lot for its owner, and I don't know, it was cool. So I basically wrote from the perspective of Barnabas and made it into this whole like way more dramatic thing than it is in the game. Like I know it's more fun and silly, like you know it's different in the game, but I thought it was cool. I like the idea of this dog traversing the decades of time and space to like be with their owner no matter what, and something I wish my dog could be. Was he the goodest boy? Maybe. I don't know if he was the best. Like, there's dogs, maybe. Like my dogs. My dogs are the best dogs in the world, clearly. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know everyone thinks their dogs are like the best dogs, and I don't know. I think that it was just a cool concept to talk about the bond of man's best friend or woman's best friend, whatever, um, and make that into a song that is a little more vague. Like I didn't want it to be so on the nose because I want to kind of broaden the themes that we're working on and make it like a little more relatable. Even though I do think like the past songs are also still like kind of like that, but I feel like there were a lot of very pointed references that I'm like happy we did it, but I want to like not pigeonhole into this like Skyrim Daedric Prince thing too much to where it's like once you write about all the Daedric princes, like what is there left? So, um, I like the idea of like making it like a bigger world in this case. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, welcome everyone who's joined. I see there's like 5 people. It doesn't. I wish it would show you like who's here, but um, or maybe it does, and I'm just really dumb. But yeah, um, I'm just stoked to have released a new song and work with some really cool people. Um, it's been fun. It's been crazy. And like, I never thought I would be here, in my career, in my life, but it's cool. You're freaking out. Um, I need some more context for that, but um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what you guys want to know about the process. I can, as PJ Berger says, well, you could always make an EP about the 5 dragons in Skyrim. That would be lame. No, it wouldn't be lame. You know, all the Skyrim lore is the coolest thing to me. Like, I know there's like a lot of video games do have this like really deep lore that you can explore and like read like whole novels or like excerpts on. But the Skyrim one to me was just, it's just so cool because it feels like legit. Like it feels like these like deities and these like people that exist in the realm could have been like, you know, actual historical people or like real things that people believe in and things like that. Like I love how integrated everything is, and like when you're exploring the world, like it feels like obvious, that those things would be real. It's not like you're having to like force yourself to believe that these things are real. You're just kind of like, yes, I'm in the game, and like this is what we're doing and like what we believe in and like the path that we have to follow and things like that. I just think Skyrim has this sense of depth that I haven't seen in a lot of other games yet. I mean, I'm sure things like Elden Ring are similar, um, and obviously things like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that. But I don't know. I've always gravitated towards this specific type of fantasy. Like Skyrim is like exactly what I would want to do if I was, you know, like that kind of character. But yeah, it's cool. That's funny. But yeah, I could write about dragons. I would do it, but I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to get like too stuck in one thing, because in general, like I know I based like a lot of Daedric's ideas on Skyrim. Um, but then again, it's like I want to make sure that we don't get stuck and kind of like become like almost like a meme, if that makes sense. Um, so I think incorporating like other things, but still tying it in always to this thing that I'm really passionate about, like the game, is still important to me. Like I feel like it's become like a bigger part of my life than I expected when I first started playing Skyrim. And like, what year was it? It was like 2012, I think, or maybe 11. I illegally downloaded it onto my Mac, and I literally like powered through it in like 6 days, and it was before it was compatible with Macs, and so I actually burnt my computer, and I had to take it in and get it fixed, but it was totally worth it. It was awesome, and I was extraordinarily obsessed. I was one of those people that like didn't shower, barely ate, you know, didn't take care of myself. I was just like, oh my god, this game, like this is everything I've ever wanted, because I used to play RuneScape, and RuneScape, you know, obviously like it has like the fantasy elements and like this whole setup, and you're in this like real world, like there's actual people playing online, but it was like, you know, a little better than 8-bit. It was like that, you know, that super low res, and everything was like click and choose, not so much like you're controlling your character. You're just like making choices and typing things and stuff like that. So it's cool. The idea was cool, but it wasn't as immersive because it was more of a choose your own journey thing. So when Skyrim came out, it blew me away because I hadn't really played a lot of video games in between a RuneScape, and then I think I played like Game Boy. Like I think I played like one of the older Zelda games. Obviously played Pokemon. Um, and so when Skyrim came out, I was just like, hot damn! Like this is it. Like this is my game. And it's been hard for me to branch out and try new ones. Like I'm dying to try Elden Ring, but at the same time I'm like, what's gonna like, is it gonna be another scenario where I'm obsessed and I don't leave my house and I don't have a life anymore and I don't get anything done? I don't know. So that's what scares me about playing Elden Ring. Like I see all the gameplay and I'm like, it looks so cool, like all the monsters and stuff. So I think eventually I'll try it. I just need some kind of hiatus so I can be like a little slug, um, and play that game. Hey guys, oh thanks for watching the video, and I'm so glad you guys liked it. Um, yeah, Skyrim is so good. Thanks, Fixed. We honestly, I do need to say a huge shout out to the Fixed team. They have been there for us every step of the way, supporting us, you know, letting us kind of do our thing, but also jumping in when we needed them, and building assets for us, and you know, giving me feedback on the visualizer, on the cover image, things like that. Because I know not every artist does their own art, and I can be kind of possessive about my art, but it's cool to have them there as support and helping us do things like make merch, and set up obviously all of this stuff, like get us on Vivo and get us shipped out to playlists, and even they were the ones that connected us with Joey Sturgis. Like that, it's just been so cool working with them. So obviously huge shout out. Speaking of merch, actually, I forgot to announce that there's gonna be merch along with this drop. I will obviously be posting about it on all the socials with links to the Fix store. They're really sick designs. I'm really excited because there's going to be some hoodies, a hat, which I am starting to get interested in hats. So this hat's going to be really sick. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Um, but yeah, merch is coming soon. Let's see. Hello, everyone who just joined. Thanks for checking it out. I'm glad you like the visualizer. It was cool. I am so stoked because in my head, when I was thinking about the visualizer and what I wanted, I thought I was just gonna make like a still render of the scenery of just like I knew I wanted the ram skull and then the skull and like some kind of like earthy realm thing going on. Um and and so when I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do like a still render and I'll just do the little like audio visualizer across it and then like call it a day. Like we'll just make it simple. Then I went off the rail and I was like, oh, I could like animate the cameras in Blender and make it even cooler. So I was like, oh, I'll just do like a loop. I'll just do a loop. I'll just do like 10-second loop and then loop it for 3 minutes or whatever. And then I got even crazier as usual, and I started making more scenes, and I was like, oh, it's not that hard. But what happens is the render times for each scene for maybe 10 to 30 seconds of actual scene time would take me 8 hours to render because it's rendering like each frame as a whole PNG image. And so it's like literally like the cover art is just a still from the video, and so imagine like rendering like thousands of those and then having to wait all night and then making sure it didn't fail. Then I would, have to convert into video. So it became this whole like back and forth process, and it's cool, but also I definitely went psycho on it. So um, I'm not mad about it and I'm not sorry, but I'm happy. Yeah, creative rabbit holes, that's definitely my life. But I'm always doing that. I'm always like, I'll just settle for this. I'll just settle for this because like it would have been good enough. Like I would have been like, oh, this is pretty good. But then I'm like, but it could be cooler. And then here I am, sometimes 2 a.m. when I have work the next day at 8, and I'm still rendering, and I'm like, I just need a little more time. I want to get this done. I have like these pretend deadlines in my head, and I want to get it done. But yeah, there's the visualizer, and I would definitely do it again. So I'm not mad. Sorry, back to merch real quick. Someone asked about plus sizes. I definitely am going to gun for that. I would like to be inclusive from like extra small to extra large, 4X, whatever we need. Like I want to have all the sizes. So I think we should. I will definitely include that information whenever I do post about the merch. I want to double check, make sure everything's good on that end before I just like throw it out to the world that it's available and then it's not. But I'll check in with our team and let you know. Let's see. Sorry, I'm reading people's comments. It takes me. I like don't know how they appear, and then and then they appear, and I'm like, oh, let me read them. But then I'm in the middle of talking, so it's really weird. Um, but yeah, merch. I'm super excited. There's some designs that I worked on. I think the hat was my design, and then the super cool artist from Fixed worked on the hoodie design. It's really sick. It incorporates, some of the skull imagery with a bunch of text. Like it's very metalcore. So I think that's cool. I will definitely be showing that today whenever I get some time. I'm actually about to jump off here in like 10ish minutes because I am going to be on a podcast. But um, But yeah, I'm trying to obviously stick around because I love talking to you guys. Um, let me see. What you guys say? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. With the visualizer, it's a lot more work than it looks like. It seems like I don't know. Like in my mind, like in Blender, you should just be able to like record a video of you, like of what you're doing. Um, but it's like to get the high res quality that you're wanting, you have to render each frame so that it looks good the whole time, or else it's just gonna look like crap because there's a lot of pixels going on because I built like I think I scaled the um, the objects in Blender to be fairly large because I was like larger means better, and so I think I think they were like 5,000 pixels like in diameter maybe. And it was like pretty insane. Like I don't even think that was completely necessary, but I was like, well, better safe than sorry because then if it's like small and then I want to scale in like I did, like I ended up doing an extra close up on the rim skull that I wasn't originally going to include, and I guess I'm glad that I made it larger because if it was like a smaller object it probably would have looked like the first Tomb Raider video game with Lara Croft. um but yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy it all turned out, and that I'm glad you guys liked the song. It was really different. Like I think the song sounded a lot closer to maybe Dawnbreaker when we first wrote it, like in terms of the soundscapes that we chose. Um uh and so when we went to the studio and like Jeff did his magic on it, I was like, is this what it's gonna sound like? Because it kind of had that like what am I saying, like the keyboard or the keyboard the synth sounds like are almost like what, like not 8-bit, like what is it, like the synths are like kind of MIDI almost sounding like in my mind. Like I know like there is more to it than that, but um they sounded like really different, and I was like what? And so whenever Joey got it, I was like, well, maybe he'll change it, but then he didn't change it, and I was like, oh, so this is cool. This is like this is like how it's gonna sound. Um, it took me like a little bit to get used to it because I hadn't heard a song like that, so that's why I'm having trouble comparing only to any other song I've heard. Like I want to find like similar artists or similar songs by other artists that like I could like lump them into. Um, but I don't know. I don't really know how to compare the song, and I think that's kind of cool. Um, and I think that's something that Joey liked about it. Whenever we chatted about working on this song, he said it didn't sound like things that were already out there, especially in the metalcore scene. What's happening on like Octane or whatever. Like a lot of the songs obviously sound a certain way, but this one sounds different. So it'd be cool to like try something, and maybe it doesn't pop off, maybe it does, but that doesn't really matter. It's just cool to be doing something extremely unique and putting that out there, and then see what happens, see what you guys think. Do you want to hear more of that, or like should we go in a more like cinematic direction? Like what is it that people like about Daedric, that we can gravitate towards and kind of hone in on, because I love everything that we're doing, but also I care about what you guys think too. Chase Curtis, any collabs with Clayton planned? Nothing planned or set in stone. There have been some ideas thrown around, but I think that's gonna be up to him because I'm sure he's like way more busy than I am. I'm a busy person, but um, I I figure running an entire label and having your own, what is it, 3 or 4 music projects, like that has to take up your time. And then having your normal family life, that's must be insane. So I can't even imagine. But I am obviously ready when he is. I've done a couple collabs with other fixed artists that are set to come out in the fall, and I think there's one that I'm like super excited to release because it's like it's like a heavier track, and I think you guys are gonna love this one because it's just like I don't know, it's cool, it's really sick. So I'm excited to have that one out. I don't know like what we're gonna do in terms of release, like if we're gonna do like a music video or like a visualizer or whatever, but I can tell you that the song is like ready to go. We've already sent it in for mixing, and I don't know. I'm curious to hear what they do with it and the things they add. Um, yeah, definitely want to collaborate with pretty much anyone, especially on the fixed roster. Um, always, I'm always, I don't know, I'm always excited to see other people's creative processes, to get a look into their mindset and like especially the approach, because I approach songs way different than other people, even people within Daedric, like the way I write a song and the way, Jeff would write a song, or Clay writes a song, is not even close to the same. Like I obviously, like I do the vocals, but it's like the way that I think about a song, I kind of write it. I start like middle, like I'll start with chorus and then move to verse, and like pre-chorus I kind of bounce around. I don't just like write linear usually. Um, and yeah, I would love to collaborate with Annex. I love his sound. Has that like industrial almost sound to it, and I think he's super sick. I love all of the stuff that he comes out with, especially all his merch is like some of the best merch that I've seen. I need to buy some, um, because I love it. I like the tech wear thing. It's definitely it's definitely cool. It's super cool. Let me see. Yeah, I'm really glad that. Oh, yeah, Annex is a fashionista. Is that a thing? If you wear streetwear, I am actually really interested in streetwear. Like I wish that I had the money to buy all that stuff and just change my entire wardrobe, but instead I just wear the same jeans all the time. Like I literally just find a pair of jeans that I like, and then I just buy all the colors, and I'm like, this is now what I wear. But I don't know. I love the tech wear. I like the pants, like the cargo pants and stuff like that. I think those are really cool. I did buy some for the photo shoot for Only, and they look okay. But like, I think the ones that he has are just like really cool. They fit like way better. And then, I don't know, like the hoods and the masks. So it's really cool. Um, yeah. Oh, hi, Toronto's and I forgot to say hi to you. I'm sorry. Um, I'm glad that the Annex inspired your last album. That's really cool. Cause yeah, he has like his own thing going on. I love it. um, yeah. Oh yeah, the wardrobe. I basically wear the same thing. Like I just buy um, tank tops and jeans, and I'm like, this is it. And I have one pair of shoes, but that's okay. Um, yeah, jeans and band tees. That's a thing. I don't actually own a ton of band shirts, even though I should. I just don't really like wearing t-shirts too much because I get really hot and then I get sweaty. But that's gross, so I won't say that. Ooh, yeah, cyberpunk cosplay. Um, dude, I would love to do cosplay. Like, I would love to cosplay Samus, honestly, and probably Lara Croft too. Um, not that that's cyberpunk, but I like that, like, I don't know, the like warrior female thing. Like I just think that's cool. That's like something that really inspired me whenever we created Daedric. I loved, and I was obsessed with Furiosa from Mad Max. I was just like, that is the coolest idea. Like it's, Charlize Theron. She's bald as hell with, her one arm with the claw thing. I was like, that is like, so that's a character. Like that's someone that I would want to be. And I feel like whenever I was thinking of the Daedric persona, like she was probably number one. Her and like I love like Wonder Woman. Just like the like that like super strong woman without being like overly what am I trying to say? Like this maybe is like the wrong word to use, but like overly like feminist. I didn't want to be like anti-men and like all that stuff, but I just wanted to be like, hell yeah, like she is her own and like she doesn't need anything. She can be feminine and like pretty and all that stuff, but also like it's more about how fierce she is and like she's just super awesome, like super powerful, determined, like courageous. Like that is something that I just latched onto because that's not like a character that has been super prevalent, I guess, for a long time. It's been more of like obviously the guys, and you have like damsel in distress and all that stuff. But just having those characters exist, it has been super inspiring for me because, being a woman in this world, you're kind of um, like seen as like this vulnerable thing, I guess. And I'm like, I don't want to be vulnerable. Like, I want to create a world where like that's not a problem for me. Um, and so I feel like with Daedric, like that's something that I've always wanted to hold on to and make sure like that's a theme without being like too, like, I guess, like, what am I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, too, like, woman power. Like, I want to be like, everyone can be powerful, but like, especially as a woman, like it's not a factor that changes the power, if that makes sense. um just like seeing Furiosa in Mad Max, like how she interacted with, with Max in the movie. It wasn't like her femininity or like her gender like really mattered. Like she could have been a man in that movie and it would have been like just as cool, but it was cool that she was who she was. um and I just found that super inspiring. I loved how tough she was and like how determined she was. um and like the things that she did to save those girls is just like, it's like she's like a hero but also just like a badass, and she kind of did her own thing and she's like, F the system. um so yeah, I don't know, that's cool. Kind of went on a weird tangent, but that's okay. um well, if you guys have any more questions, you can always hit me up on social and I will obviously answer more on here. I can, if you guys want to comment after the fact, that's cool too. But I'm going to head out, and I want to thank you again for listening to Only. If you, want to share it, that's cool too. But thanks for joining me on this live chat.